Hallelujah, praise Jehovah, from the heavens praise his name. Praise Jehovah in the highest, all his angels praise proclaim. All his hosts together praise him, sun and moon and stars on high. Praise him, all ye heaven of heaven, and ye floods above the sky. Let them praises give Jehovah, for his name alone is high. And his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, far above the earth and sky. Let them praises give Jehovah, they were made at his command. Them forever he established, his decree shall never stand. From the earth, oh, praise Jehovah, all ye floods, ye dragons all. Fire and hail and snow and vapors, stormy winds that hear him call. Let them praises give Jehovah, for his name alone is high. And his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, far above the earth and sky. All ye fruitful trees and cedars, all ye hills and mountains high, creeping things and beasts and cattle, birds that in the heavens fly, kings of earth and all ye people, princes, greaters, judges all, praise his name, young men and maidens, aged men and children small. Let them praises give Jehovah, for his name alone is high. And his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, far above the earth and sky. Hallelujah, praise Jehovah, from the heavens praise his name. Praise Jehovah in the highest, all his angels praise proclaim. All his hosts together praise him, sun and moon and stars on high. Praise him, all ye heaven of heavens, and ye floods above the sky. Let them praises give Jehovah, for his name alone is high. And his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, far above the earth and sky. Let them praises give Jehovah, they were made at his command. Them forever he established, his decree shall never stand. From the earth, oh, praise Jehovah, all ye floods, ye dragons all. Fire and hail and snow and vapors, stormy winds that hear him call. Let them praises give Jehovah, for his name alone is high. And his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, and his glory is exalted, far above the earth and sky.
Well, good evening, Mountainside. Here I am again from deep underground in the back, unexplored caverns of the Mountainside building. Or at least I don't mind telling you, that's what it feels like when there's no one here. And it's cold in here, the heat's turned off. Okay, I admit I'm exaggerating slightly, but it is lonely around here as we're coming to the end of, day 3 of our state mandated self-quarantine. And I hope your week has gone well, and we're going to get through this crisis. It's just going to happen because we have God on our side, and we're going to be stronger Christians in the end. A couple of news items I want to share. First, our communion supplies have arrived. So if you need some, please call the office and we'll make some arrangements to get them where they're needed. Secondly, we hope that you enjoyed the music slides both today before I came on and Tuesday, but I want you to know that we can't keep the music up for more than a week according to our licensing agreement with our providers. So just enjoy them and just know that the music part will go away eventually, from each stream. Thirdly, remember our stream for our Sunday service at 10:40 this Sunday. It's going to be a little bit different from this past Sunday as we are so new at this streaming business, and hopefully we are getting better at it. Now, without more delay, I'm going to turn my time over to Tom for an encouraging message, and I just want to thank you for your time and know that, yes, we are praying for all of you, and I pray that you're praying for one another and praying for us as well. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Mountainside. It's my turn and my pleasure to come into your homes and provide some sense of encouragement and perspective during this time that we're separated. It's amazing to think of how much has changed in just a little over a week. The situation concerning the novel coronavirus is ever changing and transforming the way that we live our daily lives. However, this should come as no surprise that our lives are constantly changing. However, in this instance, things are changing in ways that we don't always want and are moving in direction that will bring stress to our lives. During this time of change, my mind continually goes back to the prophet Daniel. His life is full of change. I mean, there's a new ruler or government almost on every page. I would like to focus on Daniel and his life of change, especially Daniel chapter 6. If you recall in chapter 6, King Darius implements a new hierarchy to his government, and Daniel is placed near the top. This upsets the other administrators and governors, and they try to get rid of Daniel. We begin reading in Daniel chapter 6, verse 6. So the administrators and high officers went to the king and said, "Long live King Darius! We are all in agreement, we administrators, officials, high officers, advisors, and governors, that the king should make a law that will be strictly enforced. Give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except to you, your majesty, will be thrown into a den of lions. And now, your majesty, issue and sign this law so it cannot be changed, an official law of the Medes and Persians that cannot be revoked." So King Darius signed the law. But when Daniel heard that the law had been signed, he went home, knelt down as usual in his upstairs room. With its windows open toward Jerusalem, he prayed 3 times a day, just as he had always done, giving thanks to his God. Then the officials went together to Daniel's house and found him praying and asking for God's help. Then they told the king, "That man Daniel, one of the captives from Judah, is ignoring you and your law. He still prays to his God 3 times a day." Verse 16. So at last the king gave orders to Daniel to be arrested and thrown into the den of lions. The king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Verse 19. Very early the next morning, the king got up and hurried out to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out in anguish, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God, whom you serve so faithfully, able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king. My God sent his angels to shut the mouths of the lions so that they would not hurt me. For I have been found innocent in his sight, and I have not wronged you, your majesty." You see, Daniel, he finds a way to stay faithful to God during a faith-disrupting time. He does this through seclusion. In fact, while everyone else is participating in a very public way, he finds a way to worship God in a way that he has always done. And so this is what I encourage you to do. Be like Daniel. Maintain your strong faith practices, whether you are in a crowd of people or whether you are isolated in your room. Draw near to God. Thank you. We miss you and we'll be praying for you until we see each other again. With that, I say good night.